Hello guys, this is Christy Lewis from Dostoevsky in Space. Today I'm here with my November TBR, which will include nonfiction November picks and lots of read-alongs, a few reminders about live shows happening on my channel, and a kind of faux wrap-up for this last month. It's not a full real wrap-up because I didn't actually finish anything, but I did make some progress. So we'll talk about that a little bit. I was kind of gearing away from talking about progress unless I finished things for a while, but that's just not very true to how I read. I usually am just reading a lot of things all at once, and I don't always finish them because I have a lot of interests. So that's how this wrap-up is going to be. And that's the only way that I can really keep it stress-free, is just to be kind of authentic to how I do things and not try to force it into like a professional way of doing things. First, I will actually talk about the one thing that I actually did finish, which is I read an article in BTS in Rolling Stone. I just read that today. This was a great article. I've been having a BTS moment in my life. I am really enjoying them right now. It's great. It's been a long time since I've enjoyed a musical artist, but their lyrics are very symbolic in a lot of ways. They're often saying things that are pretty deep under the surface. They did a song about this ferry tragedy in South Korea. It makes tears come to your eyes, you know. But they have happy songs too, like Butter. I did a collab with Emma this month and it was so fun, and because of Emma I got to see my first BTS concert. So it's just been a long time since I really connected with music in any meaningful way. I enjoy their hip-hop, I enjoy their rap, I enjoy their pop, I enjoy all of it. What are some other things? Oh, and I have like a mini book haul as well for you here. First, I want to talk about things that I worked on. I'm through part 3 of Anna Karenina. I'm working on part 4, which is good because our live show for this is coming up. When is it? The halfway live stream for parts 1 through 4 will be November 4th at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern here on my channel. So I'm gonna finish it before then, obviously. I've read, I don't know, quite a bit of the first, like where all these tabs come in. All this was where I was reading physically. For the rest of it, I've been just listening to it. It's pretty easy to follow on audiobook. Even though this is a stunning book, it's absolutely flawless. I just haven't been in the mood for it, which is really unfortunate. So I'm just listening to it on audiobook basically so I can talk about it with my friends. There's definitely nothing wrong with this book. I've been, again, in a very nonfiction mood. I've been exploring BTS. Normally I would love it. I'm super annoyed with characters who aren't doing the right thing, which is like obviously not what this book is about. It's about people committing adultery. Anyways, I think it's a stunning book and I'm gonna be working on this as well for next month. So this is part of my TBR. That will be green tier on my TBR, continued. I've been surprisingly hopping into War and Peace this month, which I'm more in the mood for this. I think I'm enjoying this one actually more than this one. Maybe there is, I don't know, maybe this just isn't really my type of book. It's almost simple in its beauty. I think it's a fantastic book, Anna Karenina. It's very simple for me right now. I'm not really enjoying a simple-ish fiction story, whereas this one, it was a pain to get into this one, but now that I'm into it, I'm really enjoying it. I've only read a little bit of this month, but I'll probably continue reading a little bit next month. I find it very relaxing. I can kind of sit with it if I'm stressed. I've been having a lot of insomnia. So if something sounds good when I'm having insomnia and it helps me sleep, then I read it. I read some of Crime and Punishment and I know why I love this book. This will also have a live show on my channel this coming month in November. This live show will be November 6th at 10 a.m. Pacific time. So come join us. I'm gonna have some guests. I already have a bunch of questions figured out for it. And for Anna Karenina as well. I've been prepping for those. This is gonna be a really fun conversation. I just found flag. That's another thing I've been doing. I've been working a lot on Korean because again, it's relaxing, it's absorbing. I enjoy doing that every day. I probably could be reading during those times, but it's been harder for me to delve into stories and narrative for whatever reason this last month. So I've been reading Billy Go's Korean book, and like I don't know if this is like the best one for sure. Like sometimes he'll say you can pronounce a Korean letter like this, and it's like that's not what any of my other sources say. But I think it's complicated to describe what Korean letters sound like as English equivalents because there aren't really English equivalents to a lot of them. They use different parts of the mouth and tongue that English uses. Also, Congo, this is probably what I've read most of this month physically. Where am I now? I'm in like 177. So it's slow going for me, but this is mostly what I've been reading in the second half of the month anyway. First half of the month, I don't even know. What was I reading? Who knows? I tried Wuthering Heights. I didn't end up really going with that. I was getting annoyed with the characters. This is what I mean. I love Wuthering Heights. It's one of my favorite Victorian books, but I just was really not in the mood for it for whatever reason. As soon as people started fighting with each other over nothing, that's when I started not enjoying it anymore. So that's unfortunate, but I'm just going with it. Oh, Wives and Daughters, of course. I am doing very well on Wives and Daughters. That's another one that I am mostly listening to, but if I'm having trouble sleeping, it's also a really good one for me to just sink into and read at night. And I've also been reading Congo at night. So War and Peace, Congo, and Wives and Daughters have been good nighttime reads for me. So that's what I have been reading and like watching K-dramas, because those really shut down my brain when I'm having anxiety and stuff like that. So those have been really helpful as well. I think I'll do like a K-drama wrap-up at some point, because they're not books, but they are stories, and I would love to talk about them. So I just finished, was it my third or my fourth that I just finished? When the Camellia Blooms. I finished this month, and that was really, really cool. And it has a really good narrative hook. There's like a serial killer. And then there's another one that I read, It's Okay to Not Be Okay. That one was also really good. It was about two brothers on the run. One of the brothers is on the autism spectrum, and the other brother is his caretaker. And then they meet this artist who the brother with autism just loves her illustrations. And it's all about mental health, and it has some really good messaging, and I loved it. So I'd love to talk more about this. What else? As I said, I'm going to be continuing with possibly War and Peace, possibly Crime and Punishment, definitely Anna Karenina, because live shows. I'll probably continue with Wives and Daughters. I don't know where I am. I'm probably at like 60 something or 70% of that one. My priorities next month are going to be Letters to a Diminished Church by Dorothy L. Sayers. Amazing. You may have seen the announcement video that I did with my co-hosts. I can't wait. We're gonna have a really good time with that. That live show will be on November 18th at 5 p.m. Pacific time here on my channel. Emma the Bookish Princess will be here with Victoria. I can't wait to hang out with Victoria. She's been taking somewhat of a booktube break, so whenever I get a chance to talk with Victoria about books, it is such a treat. And of course, Carla, who is just a big brain. We're gonna have a great conversation. I hope you'll join us. Even if you are just curious about Letters to a Diminished Church, that's fine. There's a bunch of essays. You could just read a couple of the essays and come and discuss with us. You could just come and discuss Dorothy L. Sayers with us. That's gonna be an official nonfiction November read-along. And of course, I'll be reading Congo 4 as well. Nonfiction November, and we have another really exciting nonfiction November read-along happening. This one I'm planning to maybe read on audiobook. Congo doesn't have an audiobook, unfortunately, so that one is all physically, which is why I'm kind of going slow on it. The Landmark Herodotus. This is the Histories, and Jennifer Brooks is doing a read-along of the Histories, and Christina, the book crusher! Christina's also just read this recently with a group. I really wanted to read it with Christina. Christina said it's super entertaining, which probably means it's gonna be hard for me. If it's entertaining for her, it means it'll probably be one of the hardest books I've ever read, because she's so smart. But I'm just so curious about this. I might actually get an ebook copy, because this copy is intimidating me. We're gonna have some reading sprints in Jennifer Brooks's Discord. You should join us for those if you're interested. We don't have dates settled yet, but we'll let you know if you come to Discord. We'll have some reading sprints of the history, so come hang out. What else? I will also maybe be reading The Far Pavilions by MMK this month, or starting it or reading part of it with Kate Howe, because I got the audiobook because Kevin, for my Christmas present, he gave me like a certain amount that I could spend on bookish things. I bought 3 Audible credits for myself, and one of the books that I got was actually free, was The Far Pavilions. And I think Kristen Lavren's dad, or I don't know how you pronounce it. I got those 2 in like a combined deal, buy one, get one free. I also got A People's Tragedy by Orlando Fijes, which I'm planning hopefully to read over the course of the next year with Danny from Spinelli Speaks, who is a dear. And I love her. Oh, and I bought This Beautiful Truth because I was reading the ebook copy and I realized I really would be helped if I had the audiobook copy of this. So it was only available on Audible, so got that. As far as the little book haul, one of them was a book I was supposed to read this month, which is Flamefall. I was originally going to use this for one of the Boo to You prompts. It was like Dumbo, the flying elephant or something, and I was like, dragons flying, that works. But yeah, like I said, I haven't been in a huge fiction mood, and I'm just trying to get through Annie K right now. That really deserves more attention than I was giving it. But I did pick this up because I was supposed to be reading it with Leslie and Tiffany, and I love them, and I want to read with them more. The other thing that I just got from the library, and I'm so excited, I asked if they would buy this, the library, because they didn't have a copy. And they bought it. So this is Pushkin's Button. It is only available as a physical book, and it explores the tragedy of Pushkin's death in a duel. I'm fascinated by it. It sounds amazing. I really would love to just sit down and read this, but it'll probably take me like 50 hours, so I'm not gonna actually do that this second. I'm reading some other stuff. It's the 31st right now. I don't know when you guys will be seeing this TBR, but it's the 31st right now. I also picked up Bone Rosary, which is by Thomas Lynch, which is a book of poetry that I've discovered through my work because I featured it in a library book haul. And it sounded so good, I had to pick it up. So maybe I'll read some poetry this month. Who knows? It sounds like definitely there's some interest in religion here, which always fascinates me. I've read some really beautiful religious poetry. In fact, I think poetry might be where Christians and Catholics are strongest as writers. I also got this beautiful book of Russian fairy tales from Red Square from Lisa. She sent me a wonderful note as well with some verses in here that are so meaningful. This is gorgeous. I did like a little haul of this on my Instagram. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, that is where you will hear from me in between videos. So you should follow me there for sure. I think that's about it. I think that's all that I had to tell you. Don't forget, Crime and Punishment is November 6th at 10 a.m. PST. And a Karenina Halfway Through, that'll be November 4th at 4 p.m. PST. And then Letters to a Diminished Church will be November 18th at 5 p.m. PST. Come hang out with us. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you're reading this month. I'd love to hear from you guys. And I will probably also continue with my interest in BTS. I'll link, in fact, I'm going to link my favorite music video from this month down below. I'll have to decide. I think it's probably Blue and Grey. It's not the video necessarily that makes it, but the song is so beautiful. And it just really fit my mood this month as the weather changed and my health kind of changes with the weather somewhat. So I'm going to link that down below. That's kind of my mood this month. But please don't mistake that for being sad. I'm actually extremely content and happy. So, especially when I hear from you guys. So thank you so much. I will talk to you soon. Leave me a comment. Bye-bye.